Welcome to the SEO.co Search Engine Optimization Podcast. Digital marketing essentials and next-level tactics. From off-site and on-site optimization to persuasive selling and everything in between. You'll learn actionable tips on what it takes to outright and outrank your competition.
Why aren't my landing pages working? 50 reasons. Raise your hand if, after launching your landing pages, you see conversions flatline or drop. Audience engagement with your landing page is paltry. Your revenues and upsells as a result of your pages fall. Your search engine rankings for that page fall. So how on earth are you supposed to tell why your landing page isn't working? How do you fix it? In this guide, we present to you 50 possible reasons your landing page isn't working, with landing page optimization solutions for each. Why landing pages matter. If landing pages are so complicated in the first place, why use them? Landing pages provide destinations. No matter what types of marketing and advertising you're pursuing, your users need somewhere to go. Landing pages provide that ideal destination. They're a focal point for conversion. Landing pages give you the opportunity to confront your users with a conversion opportunity, maximizing your potential revenue and/or customer value. They allow for segmentation. Because landing pages are separate from your site, you can also use them to segment your target demographics and cater to them individually. So with all these advantages, why isn't your landing page seeing better results? Why you aren't getting more landing page conversions? Let's take a look. 1. You haven't measured anything. First, ask yourself how you're able to determine the success of your landing page. Are you going by a gut feeling? Are you just noticing that nobody has filled out your contact form? If you aren't measuring more in-depth metrics, such as how many people are visiting your landing page or what your exit rate is, you'll blind yourself to the real variables responsible for your performance. This is inexcusable, especially since so many free tools, like Google Analytics, are on the market. If you haven't been measuring and analyzing your progress, get started immediately. You'll need those numbers to measure how effective your correctional strategies are. 2. It isn't loading properly. Don't scoff at this. You'd be shocked and embarrassed to learn how many people scratch their heads over why more people aren't converting when their pages don't load properly to begin with. Fortunately, this is simple to detect and fix. If you're looking for the easiest way, try visiting your landing page using as many different devices and browsers as you can think of. Is it loading? Are all your images viewable? Is your form easy to see? Is your page loading fast? You can use a tool like BrowserStack to help test this. Otherwise, be sure to check out Google Search Console, which can tell you if your website is down and help you track down the reason. 3. It doesn't view correctly on mobile devices. Mobile SEO is a critical feature for your landing page, just like your main website, as the majority of traffic, for many businesses, now comes from mobile devices. Because landing page layouts are especially sensitive to direct users' eyes and interactions, it's vital that your page look attractive and engaging on mobile devices specifically. Is the bulk of your content easily viewable? Is all your text readable? Are your buttons easy to find and click, without zooming? Is it able to scroll easily? If not, you may wish to reconsider your design to cater to these mobile users. Again, BrowserStack can help diagnose problems here. 4. The buttons or form fields aren't functioning properly. Your web form is the star of your landing page. If it isn't functioning properly, your visitors aren't going to proceed with converting. Run multiple tests on multiple browsers and devices to make sure your functionality is intuitive and responsive. For example, is it easy to click into a form field? Do you proactively warn your visitors when they haven't filled out a required field? Are your buttons easy to click? Do your drop-down menus load quickly and easily? Any deviation here could be an excuse to abandon your landing page, so don't take chances. 5. You aren't targeting a niche audience. Who, specifically, are you targeting with your landing page? If you don't have an answer, or you have a generic one like, our customers, you're doing something wrong. One of the greatest strengths of a landing page is its ability to communicate with high precision to one specific group of people. If you aren't taking advantage of that high relevance, your users aren't going to be engaged. Think carefully about what niche you want to target, considering your competitors as well as your demographics dispositions, and narrow your focus to that audience. 6. Your tone and presentation aren't appealing to your target audience. Of course, if you already have a target audience in mind, you could be suffering from a lack of relevance, or an inability to target those users effectively for search intent. For example, you could be using a vocabulary that's too high for your users to follow, or so low that it compromises your reputation. You could seem too boring to your young users, or too juvenile to your older ones. Examine your brand voice carefully as it permeates your landing page, and reevaluate the tone you use. A good brand can outrank other, more well-known competitors. 7. Your color scheme is off. When it comes to the colors you use on your landing page, there aren't many right or wrong decisions. However, there are a few best practices you'll want to follow. For starters, your coloration should be in line with your brand and your industry. If the colors don't feel like you, or if they give the wrong impression, it could interfere with your results. Your coloration should also enhance your text's readability. If it makes it hard to read, you'll deal with the consequences, and it should help to call out prominent areas of the page, such as your call to action. 8. Your design is obsolete. When was your landing page designed? Who designed it? The fundamentals of SEO web design have changed significantly over the years, with new trends emerging regularly. Users have grown accustomed to seeing things like full-sized background images, minimalistic, clear designs, modern fonts, tasteful links, intuitive forms of navigation, and easy-to-scroll content. If your landing page looks like it came from the 1990s, they're going to be immediately turned away. If you're confused about what this means or don't have anything to compare your site to, take a look at some modern web design examples. 9. Your design is too crowded. While it's not an absolute necessity, it's generally agreed upon that minimalistic landing page designs tend to work better than ones that are overcrowded with information, like the Adobe example below. Minimalistic landing pages give users space, allowing their eyes to wander naturally and settle upon only the most important parts of your content. Cramming in too much content or too many features can be both distracting and overwhelming, ultimately leaving your users unsatisfied. This doesn't necessarily mean you should limit the amount of content you offer, but you should space it out to give your users ample room to digest it. 10. Your headline isn't compelling. The first line of your landing page, the one that's most visible when users get there, is the most powerful piece of copy you'll offer. If you don't grab your visitors' attention here, you may end up losing them forever. Your headline needs to be a strong description of what you're offering, and a compelling reason to stick around and learn more. Get your users excited, and tell them exactly what they can expect from you. If you're looking for inspiration, Unbounce has some great examples here. 11. It's hard to tell what you're offering. Sometimes, visitors aren't interested in an offer because they don't understand what it is. For example, let's say you're offering a free trial of your software in exchange for a bit of personal information. But what does your software actually do? What are the options when the free trial expires? Why would anyone be interested in this in the first place? If your landing page leaves any of this ambiguous, it could be a reason for its failure. 12. Your offer isn't valuable enough. All conversions are an exchange of value, in one way or another. If you're selling a product, visitors are exchanging money for the goods. If you're generating leads, they're exchanging personal information for something valuable, like a free consultation. If your visitors see and understand your offer completely, they may still believe it to be too low a value to proceed with. As a simple example, if you're charging too much for your product, people aren't going to buy it. Makes sense, right? Here, your best option is to use surveys to determine how valuable your offer really is and make adjustments accordingly. 13. Your form is too long to fill out. People are impatient, and they want things to happen fast. If your form is too long or too complicated to fill out, they aren't going to invest any time in it. There's no universal rule here, but try to keep your form fields as minimal as possible, such as asking for a first name, last name, and email address. Feel free to ask for more information, but be ready to back that request up with a better offer in exchange. 14. You don't have any visual engagement. Humans crave visual engagement. It's easier to make a decision based on what we see rather than on what we read because that's how our ancestors survived for millions of years. At the very least, you should have a handful of images that show off your products, as Loot Crate does in the example below. If you're not selling products, or if you're selling something less tangible, consider including other types of images that convey the attitude of your brand or suggest the experience of your services. And they don't have to be images. Videos work well, too. 15. Your brand is inconsistent or invisible. Landing pages demand some different approaches than traditional websites, but you still need to have your brand carried throughout. Your brand personality and values should be evident in the image you present and the voice you use in every corner of your money page if you want to give users a sense of comfort and familiarity. Even if they aren't familiar with your brand, this is a powerful way to convince them that this is the type of company they want to deal with. Don't hide that personality. 16. You don't have information about your brand. Of course, your brand is about more than just your identity standards. There's also a history to your brand, and probably a lot more to your company than you can adequately squeeze into the confines of a landing page. Include what information you can on your landing page without overwhelming your audience, and give them a chance to learn more with a link to a separate page or an embedded video. The information doesn't need to be there explicitly, but it does need to be available for those who want to do more research on your business. 17. There's no contact information. Contact information gives people a sense of security. When they see a phone number at the top of your landing page, they're reassured that someone exists on the other end to take care of any questions or concerns they have. When they see a live chat window, they feel like you care about your customers' needs. Even if they don't use these options, the fact that they're there makes it more likely that they'll convert, so if you omit them, it could be a source of your poor performance. 18. You don't have any trust badges. Of the 50 things on this list, trust badges probably seem like the most innocuous. These tiny symbols, proving your affiliation with various trustworthy organizations, may seem inconsequential compared to the functionality of your page and the strength of your design and copywriting, but the fact is they have a massive impact on your eventual conversion rates. If you don't currently have any on your landing page, consider adding them in, and see what type of effect it has on your performance. You'd be surprised how many people they can convince. 19. There's no social proof. The majority of today's consumers aren't satisfied with a company's proclamation that its product or service is the best. After all, they're the ones trying to sell you on it. Instead, people are increasingly turning to social proof to back their decisions. These are things like reviews, testimonials, and even historical customer data, all of which are third-party indications that a company is worth working with. If you don't have any of these soft recommendations and forms of social proof on your site, it could be a root cause of your landing page's inability to perform.
Thank you for joining us on the SEO.co podcast. We appreciate your time. Be sure to rate, review, and subscribe to the show and visit SEO.co for more resources based on today's topic, as well as access to more podcast episodes to help you improve your site's long-term SEO success.